Hey guys, and welcome to another video. I'm in the same clothes that I closed the last one off, not because I'm a grub, but because I'm starting a new one straight away. And as I said in my last video, I'm going to be creating my bone broth recipe for you guys today. It's a very highly requested video. It's a highly requested comment and question that I get asked all the time. How do I make my gut healing delicious bone broth? And I'm going to show you exactly how I do that today. So first things first, I'm going to show you guys what ingredients you need. It's so easy. It is so cheap to make. And another little bit of advice for you, which will help you and to ensure that you are consistent with making bone broth all the time, not just making it once and then never making it again, is buy yourself a pressure cooker. I cannot tell you how much easier it makes making bone broth, because if you do it on the stove, it takes literally 12 to 24 hours. It's stressful. You always have to watch it and make sure that it's not burning. But if you have a pressure cooker, you can cook bone broth in 1 to 2 hours, and it is just as good as cooking it for 24 hours on the stove. So go out to the store and buy yourself a pressure cooker. You can get a good one for around $100, and I guarantee it will be the best investment that you make in the kitchen. I use mine at least once a week to make bone broth, and I swear to God, if I didn't have a pressure cooker, I would never make it. So I'm going to show you guys what you need to make bone broth. So if you guys just watched my last vlog, you'll see that these are what I've just bought from the shop. So we've got organic celery, which again, if you watch my last vlog, $10 fucking for a bunch of celery. I can't handle that. We've got a couple of carrots. I also bought these. These are a really great option if you can't be bothered making bone broth. This is a bone broth concentrate. So they're quite expensive. They are about $35 per jar. But you do get, 26 servings in a jar. Basically, all you need to do is put a scoop of this, 1 teaspoon of this into boiling water, and you just drink it like a soup. Really great to add to sauces, soups that you might be making, curries, stir fries, whatever. Great for extra flavor, but also has those amazing bone broth gut healing benefits as well. So again, quite expensive. I can make a whole batch of bone broth for probably under $12. Really cheap and affordable recipe to make. But again, if you can't be bothered, these are a great option. I just bought these from my health food store. This is a natural one with nothing added in terms of like extra herbs and spices, whereas this one's a curry one. I haven't tried this one before, but that's great if you want to make like a green curry or something. But I do have this one too, which is what I've been using for a little while. This is, hello, focus, hello. This is called the AM Cleanser. So this one has lemon, ginger, and turmeric in it as well. So yep, carrot, celery, 2 onions, and I've got my organic bones that I bought from the market this morning. Okie dokie, so I've cut up the ingredients that we need. As I said, 1 large carrot, 1 large brown onion, some celery, you can use the leaves, that's fine. And then we've got some organic bones. Now I just want to touch on the bones for a second. Quite confronting, but get over it. Like honestly, it's not the best thing in the world, but you just got to kind of deal with it. So I tend to go for beef bones, purely because I believe that they've got more marrow in them. So if you go to your local butcher, ask them for the marrowy bones more so than like the ribs or anything like that, because they are smaller bones, the ribs and stuff. They are not as much, there isn't as much marrow in there. So you can see here that in the center there, that's marrow, like so unbelievably healthy for your gut. So I've gone to the market this morning and I asked my butcher to give me as many marrow bones as possible. They'll dock them up for you, they'll cut them up so that it's easier to break down, because the smaller the bone, the more they'll break down, whereas if you put a huge bone in, probably not as prone to breaking down. But you can see all here, all this beautiful marrow. So I have this pressure, oh wow, I just stepped on my cat. I'm really sorry, darling. Wowee. I use this pressure cooker here. It's a Smith & Noble, nothing fancy. I believe it was quite cheap. I can't remember, I've had it for a while now. But what I love about this pressure cooker is it's silent. My Nonna has one of those ones that you put on the stove and it whistles and it drives me nuts, whereas this one is dead silent. So I really like this one. It fits quite a lot in it. So the first thing that we need to do is empty all of these bones in here. I don't know if I'm going to need them all actually. No, that's a perfect amount. So I've got about 1.5 kilos of beef bones here. And to that, it's really important, this step, is adding about 2 or 3 tablespoons of organic apple cider vinegar. The reason that we add the apple cider vinegar is because it helps start the process of breaking down the bones. So what we basically do is we're just going to put a small coating over the bones, and we're going to let that sit there for like 20 to 30 seconds before we add water, because that, like I said, the acidity in that is going to start breaking down the bones, and that's what we really want. Then we add our carrots, onion, celery, all the goodness in there. And if you want to, you can also add things like peppercorns. You can maybe add a bay leaf, anything else, but I like to just keep it nice and simple. I personally don't like to add salt to my bone broth until maybe the end, when it's finished and I've taken the fat off the top, just because it kind of, I don't know, I just don't want to put too much salt because I know the bones are quite salty. Adding too much salt can kind of ruin it. So maybe just leave the salt till the end. But that's honestly it. It's so easy, those ingredients, and then we just literally top the pot up with water until we cover the vegetables, cover the bones, pop the lid on, and Bob is literally your uncle. I need more water though. One moment. That didn't go to plan, did it? Waiting. Oh, it's got water everywhere. Love that. And like I said, just add enough water that you're just covering, those veggies. Pop the lid on. Crank it on to manual cook. The highest amount of time on this particular pressure cooker is 99 minutes. So I always start it off at 99 and then I go in for a second 99 minutes. So it's 200 minutes in total that I cook this for. And then we pop that on for 2 cycles. On my particular machine, it is 99 minutes per cycle. So that in total is 200 hours. Don't ask me how, 200 minutes. Wow, don't do 200 hours. But what I'm going to do is fuck me. See what I mean? It's called fucking brain fog and mental instability, because right now I can't think, and that's because my gut is fucking flared. I'm going to show you guys what it looks like when it's done. I'm going to show you how to strain it, how to remove the ingredients that you want to keep, throw away the ones you don't. Then I'm going to show you tomorrow what it looks like when it's set in the fridge, and what the end result should be like. So stay tuned. I'll speak to you guys soon. Good morning, guys. It is the next morning and I left my bone broth on last night for a little bit longer because I just wanted to break down those bones as much as possible. So I've just gotten out of bed. The good thing about my pressure cooker actually is that even though it stopped cooking, it keeps the soup really, really hot overnight. So I didn't have to put it straight in the fridge. So that is like boiling hot still. So I'm just going to show you guys. I'm just going to show you guys what it looks like. So obviously it's been off, so the pressure has gone. Alright, so that's so good. You can already see like the colours of the vegetables have gone right down to like a light colour. And if you get the bone, you can see that the bones have started to break down, which is really, really good. See, all the bones are really small now. So I'm really happy with that. If we get out one of the marrow bones, let's have a look. So even in here, you can actually go in there with a spoon. That's what I'm going to do, and scoop out that marrow and eat that, because that's honestly so yummy. So I'm going to strain this and I'm going to show you what it looks like once I've strained all the veggies out. So I've strained out the soup. I've taken out all the bones and the veggies, and you can see now this beautiful yellow broth. Now, you can probably see in the video that shiny, sparkly layer along the top. That's all the fat from the bones. So what we need to do now is we need to put this into the fridge with a lid on, and we need to let this
cool right down. So what's going to happen when it cools down is it's going to form this big thick layer of white hard fat on the top, which is exactly what we want, because then what we can do is we can just literally pick up that layer of fat and put it straight in the bin, and then we're left with all that beautiful soup underneath. Okay, so my bone broth has been in the fridge all day, so it's probably been about 10 hours or so. The fat on the top isn't hard yet, but it's hard enough that I can scrape it away and get rid of all of that fat, and you can see underneath how perfect that bone broth is. Like I said, it's like jelly. So I'm just going to scoop all this off and I'll show you what I mean. Okay, so I've taken all of that fat off the top, and like I said, the end result should resemble jelly, and you can see how perfect that is. It's not liquidy at all, it's literally all jelly, and that is the perfect consistency of a really, really good bone broth batch. The reason it's like jelly is it's full of collagen, it's full of vitamins and minerals, and it's full of glutamine and all of the good things that we need to heal an unhealthy gut, or even just keep a healthy gut nice and healthy. So now that the bone broth is ready, I'm going to show you guys how I make my yummy bone broth soup. So instead of just having the bone broth on its own like that, which you so totally can, and it's so amazingly beneficial just to have it on its own, but I like to make it more into a hearty meal, because I don't really find that just drinking clear stock like that is going to fill me up. And I do just want to make mention as well, as soon as you bring that up to a boil or heat it up, it's going to obviously go like liquid again. It's only gelatinous when it is cold, so don't freak out that you have to have bone broth like a jelly. But what I'm going to do now is decanter a little bit of that into a smaller pot, and I'm going to add some veggies. I'm going to add a little bit of gluten-free pasta. You can add like some chicken in there if you want to, or even sometimes I even put some salmon in there, and I just make like a really yummy hearty soup. But really you can add anything you want, but I love broccoli, zucchini, and I put also a teaspoon of this stuff, which I think I showed you guys earlier. So I've bought these quite a few times, absolutely love them, but I add a teaspoon of this bone broth concentrate as well into my bone broth, just to make it extra bony. And I also add a little bit of organic, just a tablespoon of organic coconut cream, because it really makes my soup nice and creamy and kind of resembles a curry. So I'm going to show you how I do that.
About to leave, already packing, come with me, I'm not really asking, we'll get away to a place where we don't know. About to see the world in action, what we can be, life with no distractions.